When winter hits, it doesn't send a polite warning. It slams into your life like a freight train, cutting the power and stealing the heat before you even know what's happening. And once the cold takes hold, it doesn't just knock on the door. It seeps into every crack, every corner, draining your home of warmth, comfort, and control faster than you'd think. Most people, they think they're ready. A couple of store-bought blankets, a flashlight or two, maybe a generator that's barely holding a charge. But here's the hard truth. When temperatures plummet below freezing and help isn't coming, surface-level prep just won't cut it. That's why we're diving into 9 DIY cold weather prep hacks FEMA won't tell you. Real practical strategies that go beyond the cookie-cutter advice you've heard 100 times. These aren't your typical buy this expensive gadget tips. We're talking about build-it-yourself solutions that preppers swear by. Tactics designed to turn your home into a fortress of heat and functionality, even when the world outside is frozen solid. From keeping your family warm, to protecting your pipes and stretching your power reserves, these hacks are the difference between surviving and thriving when winter gets brutal. So stick around, because by the end of this video you'll have the tools, techniques, and know-how to stay ahead of the cold long before anyone's handing out emergency blankets. Let's get started. 1. Seal every crack. The first line of defense against the cold. When winter storms roll in, the cold doesn't need an open door to invade your home. It only needs a crack, the size of a coin. That's why the first and most critical step in prepping for freezing temperatures is sealing every gap and crevice in your home. Think of it as fortifying your castle walls before the enemy arrives. This isn't a glamorous hack, but it's one of the most effective ways to keep the warmth in and the cold out. Most people underestimate just how many places cold air can sneak through. It's not just the obvious spots like windows and doors. Cold air seeps in through baseboards, attic hatches, dryer vents, electrical outlets, and even the tiny gaps around plumbing. Every unsealed gap is like a slow leak in a boat, and when the temperature drops, that leak turns into a flood of freezing air. The good news, sealing your home is simple, affordable, and something you can do in a single afternoon. Start with foam tape for window frames. It's cheap, easy to apply, and creates an instant barrier. For doors, use felt or rubber weather stripping to block drafts. Larger gaps, like those around pipes or attic hatches, can be filled with expanding spray foam. And don't forget caulk for baseboards and smaller cracks. If you're in a pinch, even rolled-up towels or pool noodles can act as temporary draft blockers. Professional preppers treat this step like a non-negotiable. Why? Because every gap you seal means your heaters work less, your fuel lasts longer, and your home stays warmer for longer periods. It's not just about comfort, it's about control. A well-sealed home is a fortress against the cold, and the benefits compound with every hour of freezing weather. Once you've sealed the shell of your home, you've set the foundation for everything else. But the battle isn't over yet. The next threat is lurking in your walls and under your sinks, and it can cause catastrophic damage if ignored. Let's move on to the next critical step. 2. Wrap and insulate pipes. Protect your water system from disaster. Even with your home sealed tight, there's a silent threat hiding in your walls, under sinks, and in crawl spaces. Exposed pipes. When temperatures drop below freezing, these pipes can freeze, expand, and burst, turning your home into a flooded disaster zone. And the worst part, it's entirely preventable with a little preparation. Most people don't think about their pipes until it's too late. But smart preppers know that protecting your water system is just as important as keeping your home warm. A frozen pipe doesn't just mean you lose water. It means you lose the ability to cook, clean, flush, and hydrate. It's a cascading failure that can cripple your entire winter setup. The solution: insulate and wrap your pipes before the cold hits. Foam pipe sleeves are the easiest and most effective option. They're cheap, easy to install, and provide a solid layer of protection. Just cut the sleeve to size, slide it over the pipe, and secure it with tape. For tricky spots like elbow joints or tight angles, use fiberglass wrap or flexible insulation. And if you're on a tight budget, even thick towels secured with zip ties can act as a temporary shield. Focus on the most vulnerable areas first. Pipes in basements, crawl spaces, garages, and under sinks. These are the spots where cold air tends to settle and freeze water lines. FEMA often recommends letting faucets drip to prevent freezing, but that's a last resort. Insulation is a proactive solution that keeps your system running smoothly. For those who want to go the extra mile, consider adding heat tape to high-risk pipes or placing a portable light under sinks during extreme cold snaps. These small steps can buy you critical hours when temperatures plummet. Remember, protecting your pipes isn't just about avoiding a mess. It's about preserving the functionality of your entire home. With your water system secured, it's time to focus on optimizing heat where it matters most. 3. Zone heating. Concentrate warmth where you need it most. Once your home is sealed and your pipes are protected, it's time to shift your focus to efficiency. The biggest mistake most people make during a cold snap: trying to heat their entire house. In extreme weather, that's like trying to warm up the outdoors. It's a waste of energy, fuel, and time. Preppers know better. They use a strategy called zone heating, which focuses warmth on the areas that matter most. Zone heating is all about shrinking the battlefield. Instead of spreading heat thin across your entire home, you concentrate it in the smallest, most essential spaces. Think of it as creating a heat zone where you live, sleep, and recover. This could be a single bedroom, a main living area, or any room with backup heat or insulation. Start by closing every door and sealing off unused rooms. Use thick blankets, heavy curtains, or even shower curtains to block off large spaces. For doorways, thermal insulation panels or even cardboard barriers can make a huge difference. The goal is to create a contained space that warms up quickly and holds heat longer. Why does this work so well? Smaller zones require less energy to heat, which means your heaters, generators, or backup systems last longer. Whether you're using a propane heater, an electric blanket, or even just body heat, it all goes further in a tight, sealed space. And the psychological boost of a warm, cozy room during a deep freeze: priceless. Zone heating also protects your critical systems. If you're running on limited power, you don't want to waste it heating a guest room or an empty hallway. Focus your energy on the spaces where you spend the most time. This strategy not only keeps you warm, but also stretches your resources, giving you more control over your environment. Once your heat zone is established, the next step is to lock in that warmth. And one of the biggest culprits of heat loss: your window. In the next hack, we'll show you how to turn those glass panes into heat traps using simple, DIY solutions. Stay tuned. For window mastery, harness the sun by day, seal the cold by night. Windows are often the most overlooked yet significant culprits of winter heat loss in any home. They may appear innocuous, but untreated glass is in fact one of the fastest and most efficient pathways for precious warmth to escape your living spaces and for the biting cold to creep in. That's precisely why mastering your windows and understanding their role in thermal regulation is an absolute game changer in effective cold weather preparation. The key, and indeed the secret, lies in treating your windows dynamically, adjusting your approach depending on the time of day. During daylight hours, especially in rooms that face south or west, your windows can transform from vulnerabilities into powerful natural heaters. Sunlight isn't merely light, it's a potent source of free, radiant energy. To capitalize on this, make it a point to open your curtains, lift the blinds, and allow that abundant sunlight to pour directly into your home. The heat it generates doesn't just warm the air, it critically soaks into your floors, walls, and furniture, effectively turning these surfaces into thermal mass heat reservoirs that will continue to release warmth long after the sun has set. Every single degree of temperature you gain naturally through passive solar heating is one less degree your costly energy-consuming heating system has to work for, leading to significant savings in both energy and financial resources. However, as soon as the sun dips below the horizon and dusk settles in, your windows instantly revert to being a major liability. Glass by its very nature is a poor insulator, and untreated windows act like cold magnets, actively pulling accumulated warmth out of your home. At this point, thin decorative curtains simply won't suffice. They offer minimal thermal resistance. You need robust, genuine barriers to effectively halt this heat loss. Excellent options include heavy thermal drapes or specially designed fleece-lined curtains, which create a substantial insulating layer. For an even more formidable defense, consider layering reflective survival blankets behind your main curtains, securing them tightly to the window frame with clips, Velcro, or even tacks. The goal is to eliminate any air gaps and light leaks, creating a solid, impenetrable barrier against the invading cold. For an additional and highly effective layer of insulation, you can apply bubble wrap directly to the window glass. While admittedly not the most aesthetically pleasing amazing solution. It creates an air-trapping insulated layer that dramatically reduces heat transfer and prevents significant heat loss. If you find yourself in a pinch or need a quick fix, even simple cardboard cutouts, meticulously pressed and wedged between the window frame and your curtains, can make a surprisingly noticeable difference in retaining indoor warmth. This consistent day-night rhythm, opening your windows to the sun by day and sealing them securely by night, should become a fundamental daily habit throughout the winter month. It's a strategy that is remarkably simple to implement, incredibly effective in its results, and costs next to nothing. By optimizing your windows with this mindful approach, you're not just saving precious energy, you're also significantly reducing the strain on your primary heating system and adding a crucial layer of resilience to your home's ability to withstand cold weather. With your windows effectively under control, it's time to shift your focus to ensuring safety, because all the warmth in the world won't matter if your heat sources inadvertently turn dangerous. 5. Safe heat, carbon monoxide and generator placement done right. While staying warm in winter is unequivocally critical for survival and comfort, the methods you employ to generate that warmth can quite literally mean the difference between life and death. Alarmingly, every year, thousands of individuals tragically end up in emergency rooms, not due to the frigid temperatures outside, but as a direct consequence of carbon monoxide (CO) poisoning inside their homes. This insidious gas is both odorless and invisible, making it undetectable by human senses and thus incredibly deadly. What's more, it can accumulate to dangerous levels far more rapidly than most people realize. For these reasons, robust CO safety measures are absolutely non-negotiable in any comprehensive cold weather preparation plan. The paramount rule to remember is this: under no circumstances should you engage in combustion indoors without absolutely proper and adequate ventilation. This includes a wide range of common household and outdoor items such as portable generators, charcoal grills, camp stoves, and any type of propane heaters, unless they are explicitly designed and certified for indoor use and are equipped with advanced oxygen depletion sensors. Generators in particular pose a significant risk indoors and must always be placed outdoors, positioned at least 20 feet away from any door, window, or ventilation opening. Simply cracking a garage door or operating a generator under a covered porch is woefully insufficient. Generators require truly open air and ample space to safely vent their toxic exhaust fumes away from your living area. Next, securing your home with reliable detection is key. Invest in high-quality carbon monoxide detectors for every single level of your home, paying particular attention to their placement near all sleeping areas. Battery-operated models are especially ideal for winter preparedness, as power outages are a common occurrence during severe weather events. Make it a diligent practice to test these detectors monthly. Replace their batteries a minimum of twice a year. A good habit is to do it when daylight saving time changes, and never ever assume you'll smell something if there's a problem. As reiterated, CO is entirely odorless and will remain undetectable without a properly functioning alarm. If you are running a generator to power essential appliances inside, ensure you use only a heavy-duty outdoor-rated extension cord to bring electricity indoors. Take extra precautions to seal any entry points for the cord, using materials like foam weather stripping or rags to prevent cold drafts and keep the warmth inside. For a more permanent and secure solution, consider routing the cord through a designated access point, such as a dryer vent fitted with a weatherproof sleeve. Ultimately, carbon monoxide safety isn't just a mere precaution, it forms a critical foundation for overall winter resilience. The warmest, coziest room in your house can instantly become the most dangerous space the moment carbon monoxide begins to permeate the air. Once you've ensured your heating setup is unequivocally safe, it's time to consider its durability and longevity. You need systems and supplies that can stretch and endure even if the power remains out for several days. That's precisely where a comprehensive cold weather backup kit comes into play. 6. The ultimate cold weather backup kit. Be ready, stay ready. When the power unexpectedly goes out and the temperature plummets, the absolute last thing you want is to be frantically digging through scattered, disorganized supplies in the dark and cold. This is why every truly serious cold weather prepper understands the indispensable value of having a fully stocked, meticulously organized and ready-to-use backup kit. This isn't about collecting survival gimmicks, it's fundamentally about practicality, immediate accessibility, and the invaluable peace of mind that comes from knowing you're prepared. Your ultimate backup kit should be strategically located in your main heated zone, easily accessible rather than relegated to an unheated garage or buried deep within a storage closet. Pack all your essentials into a sturdy waterproof tote or a durable bin that is effortless to carry and open. The goal is zero digging, zero guesswork. You should be able to simply grab it and go when an emergency strikes. Begin with prioritizing warmth. Include a generous supply of extra thermal blankets, lightweight yet highly effective mylar bivy sacks, plenty of chemical hand warmers, and a selection of insulated clothing layers. These items are designed to be lightweight and compact, but they can make an immense difference in maintaining core body temperature during extreme cold, especially when worn in layers. Next, focus on reliable emergency lighting. Essential items here include bright LED lanterns, versatile headlamps, which allow for hands-free operation, and battery-powered motion lights for general illumination. Always pack an ample supply of extra batteries, not just for your various lights, but also for critical devices like your carbon monoxide detector, emergency radio, and thermometer, ensuring they remain functional. Food and water are, of course, non-negotiable elements. Stock up on ready-to-eat, shelf-stable items that require no cooking, such as high-calorie energy bars, jars of peanut butter, various nuts, and dried fruit. These options are easy to consume cold if necessary, and provide essential energy. Be sure to include a manual can opener, and crucially, plan for at least 1 gallon of potable water per person per day, aiming for a minimum of 2 days' supply. Don't overlook electrolyte powder. Staying hydrated is just as important, and often more challenging in cold conditions than many might expect, as the body can still lose fluids rapidly. For reliable communication, pack a battery-operated or hand-crank radio to stay informed about local conditions and emergency broadcast. An emergency whistle can be vital for signaling, and a backup phone charger, either solar or battery-powered, is essential for keeping your mobile device operational. If you live in a multi-level home, consider including a pair of two-way radios. These can prove invaluable for coordinating actions and ensuring everyone is safe without having to shout across floors. Finally, remember to add a touch of comfort. Enduring cold and uncertainty can be incredibly stressful, and even small morale boosters can make a surprisingly significant difference. Include simple items like a deck of cards, a good book, or even instant coffee or tea packet. These little luxuries can genuinely help to keep spirits high and provide a welcome distraction when the situation feels bleak and challenging. This meticulously assembled kit isn't a bug-out bag designed for evacuation. It's specifically a stay-in kit, meticulously designed to ensure your core needs are met when leaving your home isn't an option or is too dangerous. With your comprehensive backup kit safely in place and readily accessible, you are now well prepared for the next crucial step: creating passive heat systems that function effectively without relying on burning fuel or external power. Stay tuned for the next hack, where we will explore how to build ingenious low-tech solutions that can keep your home comfortably warm, even when the electrical grid is completely down. 7. Harness the sun. DIY passive solar heating. Every winter day, free heat streams into your home, but most people don't know how to capture it. Passive solar heating isn't just for architects or fancy eco-homes. It's a practical DIY strategy that preppers use to warm their spaces without burning fuel or draining batteries. The concept is simple. Dark materials absorb heat, clear materials let light in, and when you combine the two, you create a heat trap that can raise the temperature of a room by several degrees, all without using a single watt of power. Start with your windows. Identify the ones that get the most direct sunlight during the day, especially those facing south. These are your natural heaters. Place dark-colored objects in front of these windows. Think bricks, ceramic tiles, jugs of water, or even thick books. These items act as thermal mass, soaking up the sun's heat throughout the day and releasing it slowly into the air after sunset. It's like having a free, silent radiator. Want to take it a step further? Build a basic passive solar heater. All you need is a black painted board, a clear plastic cover, and a small gap at the bottom and top for airflow. Here's how it works. As the sun heats the black surface, cool air enters from the bottom, warms up inside the chamber, and rises out the top, creating a continuous flow of warm air. Place this DIY heater at a low angle facing south for maximum efficiency. Even a simple version made from cardboard, foil and a plastic sheet can make a noticeable difference in room temperature during the afternoon. The beauty of passive solar heating is its simplicity. It's silent, safe and scalable. You're not trying to heat your entire house, just adding a few extra degrees where it counts. And in an emergency, those degrees can mean the difference between comfort and discomfort, between stretching your resources and running out. Once the sun sets though, you'll need a way to lock in that warmth and keep it radiating through the night. That's where thermal mass comes into play. 8. Thermal mass. Store heat, stay warm. When the sun goes down, so does your last source of natural warmth. That's why thermal mass is a game changer for cold weather prepping. It's a no fuel, no power solution that stores heat during the day and releases it slowly through the night, turning cold rooms into livable spaces without burning a single drop of energy. Thermal mass works on a simple principle. Dense materials like stone, ceramic, and water absorb heat slowly and release it gradually. You don't need expensive equipment, just basic materials and smart placement. Start with rocks. Lava rocks, bricks, or large ceramic tiles are excellent options. Place them in direct sunlight during the day or near any heat source, like a passive solar heater or a space heater. Once they're hot, carefully move them into your insulated zone. Wrap them in thick towels or place them in metal containers to control the heat release and avoid burn. Water is another powerful thermal mass option. Fill dark-colored jugs or bottles with water and place them where sunlight hits during the day. By evening, these jugs will radiate warmth for hours, stabilizing the room temperature and reducing the need for active heating. For maximum efficiency, combine both methods. Use stone mass for overnight warmth and water mass for daytime heat retention. The goal isn't to heat your entire space, it's to hold the line. Maintain just enough warmth to stay safe, rest well, and preserve your energy reserve. When paired with insulation and zone heating, thermal mass becomes a force multiplier, keeping your home comfortable and functional even in the harshest conditions. But even the best systems need to be tested before they're truly reliable. That's why the final step in your cold weather prep is running a full dry drill. 9. The cold weather dry run. Test your winter fortress. Planning is theory, but testing is reality. In cold weather prep, untested systems are silent weaknesses that only reveal themselves when it's too late to fix them. That's why smart preppers run dry drills, simulated outages where every layer of your winter system is pushed to its limits. This isn't just a practice run, it's your chance to identify and eliminate flaws before a real emergency strikes. Here's how to do it. Pick a night when temperatures are low but manageable. Turn off the lights, shut down your heat, and lock into your insulated zone exactly as you would in a real crisis. This is your dress rehearsal, and every issue you uncover now is a failure avoided later. Start by testing your insulation. Walk the perimeter of your zone with a candle or lighter, and watch for flickers. They'll reveal drafts and air leaks. Check your windows, doors, and floor barriers. Are they fully sealed? Can you feel cold air creeping in? Even small gaps can lead to significant heat loss. Next, test your thermal mass. How long does it take for your rocks or water jugs to lose their warmth? Are they effectively stabilizing the room temperature? Evaluate your backup kit. Is it within reach, organized, and fully stocked? Can you find what you need in the dark? Test your lighting systems. How long do your batteries last? Switch to your radio. Can you get a clear signal indoors? And most importantly, how does the room feel after 2 hours? Is it cold, stable, or comfortable enough to sleep in? End the drill by reviewing your result. Note what worked, what failed, and what needs improvement. Maybe your reflective lining needs reinforcement. Maybe your CO detector beeped too early. Maybe your food storage wasn't as accessible as you thought. Every insight you gain now is one more layer of control added to your winter defense. A dry run isn't just about testing gear, it's about testing yourself. It's your chance to build confidence in your system and ensure that when the real storm hits, you're ready. With every layer tested, sealed, and optimized, you've turned your home into a winter fortress. And the best part, you didn't just prepare to survive, you prepared to thrive.